Dear friends, in the last episode, we deliberated upon a subject, how to change our destiny, how to change our fate or fortune. So I also try to define the word destiny in view of the Indian Sashtric tradition, philosophical tradition. And we came to know that Daiva, or what we call as destiny, is not written by stars or governed by stars, but it is written by us through our own actions done in the past life. And those actions, they continue in the present life also. So, the papa karmas of past life, they are going to create problem for us in the present life. And the good karmas, they are giving good things to us. They prove to be very good in our present life. In fact, now the question is, when we talk about the change of the destiny, then the question comes, how the destiny is written, how the destiny is made, how it becomes. What is the mathematics of this destiny? Because until and unless we are able to know how the destiny is written, it won't be possible to change it. So, the first lecture, the previous lecture was just an introductory one. Now, today we shall deal with the actual problem, how the destiny of a human being is written or it made, how the destiny is made, and what is the mathematics behind its making or writing. As we know very well, and I have told it many lectures previously, that whatever action we do, whatever karmas we do, those karmas gets accumulated and they are being carried by us in our next lives. They accompany us in their next lives. But in what form they accompany a human being? That is a main issue to be comprehended. Actually, whatever action we do or whatever thought process we have in our minds, whatever thinking we have in our minds, that has two types of effects. Number one, those karmas or those thoughts, they get impressed into our mind as the sanskaras. This sanskar word is very important. They gets impressed into our mind in the form of sanskaras. And those sanskaras act as the seed for the next life. In Vedanta Darshan clearly says, sanskar bijata srishti. So these sanskaras, they are the seed for your next life. Means, according to the sanskaras, you are getting your next life's jati. Next life. What will be the jati in your next life? This word jati in Indian philosophy, it doesn't mean caste or any creed, race, etc., But jati means human race, animal breeds, plant breeds, all these different classes, they are known as jati. We are Manava jati. Others are Pashu jati, Pakshi jati. So, human jati, animal jati, birds jati, plant jati. So, jati is in a sense of species, you can say. So, these sanskaras are going to determine the species of your next life. Sanskara bijata srishti. And similarly in Yoga Darshan, a great seer Patanjali. Patanjali is the last seer, propagator of the yoga, exponent of the yoga philosophy in the tradition. Yoga philosophy started from the Veda itself, but Patanjali is the last exponent of this philosophy. What the Patanjali says? Patanjali says, Sanskara sakshat karanat purva jnati jnanam. If we are able to understand the sanskar of a human being in this life, we will be able to know his past species. So this is most important. So one way, the karmas and our thoughts, they are accumulated or impressed in our mind in the form of sanskaras, and they determine our future species. And the second thing, whatever action we do, whatever we think, or we interact with other people, that accompanies us in whatever form we are taking birth, whether animal, bird, or whatever form, they will be accompanying us in 4 forms. Number 1, Ayu. Number 2, Yash. Number 3, Bal. And number 4, Vidya. 4 forms. Whatever we do, they will accompany us in forms. Means they will be accompanying us in the next life in the form of age. They will determine our age, lifespan, whether it will be short or long. Number 2, they are going to determine the knowledge system, Vidya, whatever knowledge we have, that whatever knowledge we have acquired in the past life, that accompanies us to the next life. That is why we see in the classroom certain students, although the same teacher is teaching, the same facilities are there, but certain students are very intelligent in particular subjects and others not. And certain students, they pick up very fast, but others fail to pick up. Why it is so? Because everybody is carrying Vidya with him from the past life. If you have a bigger store of Vidya from the past life, you can utilize it fast. So whatever you learn, you can't unlearn it in this life also. Whatever you have learned in the childhood, you are not going to forget it in the old age also. If somebody knows driving, and suppose he left driving for 20 years, and after 20 years he is given a vehicle to drive, he will drive it. Automatically his body will work. So whatever you will learn in the past life, that will carry along with you, that will go along with you in the next life also. So Ayu is Vidya, means your knowledge, whatever knowledge store you have, that will remain intact in the next life. So it is up to you whether you increase it or decrease it. That will be upon you. Third thing is Yash. Yash means your name, fame, your fortune, prosperity, all these things, they are included in the Yash. And Bala. Bala means your physical strength, your health, your mental health, all these things. So you will carry, your actions will will shape your next species, and they will be accompanying you in the form of these four things. So this is how the whole process is going on. And now the thing that is to be understood is that how all these things are made, how this destiny is written through our karmas. What will be that mathematics for that is going to make our destiny based upon our thinking process and karmas? That is most important. And this question has also been answered by the author of the Yoga Darshan, the great seer Patanjali. When he talks about the subject discipline of yoga, he says there itself that if somebody wants to be a yogi or want to practice the yoga, then he will have to pass through 8 phases, means different stages or different levels he has prescribed over there, and that is known as Ashtanga Yoga. Patanjali says, Yam Niyam Asana Pranayama Pratyahara Dharana Dhyana Samadhayo Ashtau Angani. Means Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. These are the 8 parts of the yoga. So he has given a sequential order. Order has been given by him. The first thing in the order is Yama, second is Niyama, third one is Asana, and to the whole entire world and all big persons, scholars calling themselves as a yoga rishi and a yogi, they are just emphasizing only one point of Patanjali's Yoga Darshan, and that is asana. And somewhat whatever they do, sometime only pranayama. But the asana that they are going to prescribe, they are not included into the discipline of yoga as propagated by Patanjali. These are the different type of asanas, but whatever Patanjali means to say by asana, that is a different one. And I don't want to bring this subject here because it is irrelevant. This subject will be discussed some elsewhere when we will deal with the Yoga Darshan. So, the first thing, whatever Patanjali says for yoga, that is Yama and Niyama. What is this Yam and Niyama? Without having observed Yam and Niyama, nobody can walk or tread the path of yoga. That is the first priority. And these Yam and Niyama, they have also been described by a great lawmaker of the humankind, Manu, in his Manu Smriti. He says, he calls these Yam and Niyam as dharma, and he says there are 10 parts of the dharma. Dhriti, Kshama, Damo, Asteyam, Shaucham, Indriya, Nigraha, Dhira Vidya, Satyam, Akrodho, Dashkam, Dharma Lakshanam. And all these 10 parts of the dharma, these 10 symptoms you call or lakshanas of the dharma, they have been divided into 2 classes. They have been categorized into 2 categories by Patanjali. And the same thing, it is the same thing, but Patanjali makes a more practical classification of these 10 parts of the dharma, and he divides them in yamas and niyamas. So here we must understand, for just to know about, just to know or just to get the answer that how destiny is created or formed or written by us, we must understand these two things. First one is niyama. Niyama is not the first one but the second one, but I'll just reflect on it first. Niyama are those rules and regulations that apply to the individual himself, to your own self. They cannot be applied to anybody else. You can't apply them to anybody else, but that is for your own practice. And these niyamas, Patanjali says, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhanani niyama. Shauch means purity of mind, purity of speech, and purity of action. Santosh, contentment. Tapaha, yoga, practice of yoga. Swadhyaya, study. Ishvara, pranidhanani. And meditating upon God, Brahman, all the times, every second of the 24 hours. You will be doing your job, the worldly jobs, but concentrating upon that God. So that is known as Ishvara Pranidhanani. These 5 niyamas, they are most important for your individual life. Why? Because as an individual, you have to uplift yourself to the higher levels. And your final goal is Jivana Mukti, the permanent relief from the worldly pains, and Videha Mukti or moksha. So for that, and just to treat the path of yoga, these 5 niyamas are most important. And you will have to apply them to yourself so that you may elevate yourself. When I told once in one of my lectures, the Vaisheshik Darshan, in Vaisheshik Darshan, the author of the Vaisheshik Darshan, the Vedic physics, Kanad, when he describes the purpose of dharma, he says, Yato abhyudaya nishaya siddhi sadharma. The purpose of dharma or these yam and niyamas are abhyudaya, your social upliftment, and nishreyasa, liberation. So if you want to attain liberation, individual liberation, then you will have to follow these niyamas. And what is yama? Because as a human being, we live in the society also. We have to interact with so many beings, our fellow beings in the society, in nation, on the earth. So sometimes whatever action we do while interacting with other persons, our actions either they are going to hurt them or they are going to have no impact on them, or they are going to give some relief to them. 3 types of results will be there. So from those 3 types of results, the prominent actions or the yamas that are to be observed, they are of 5 types. Patanjali describes them as 5. And he says, Ahinsha, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. Means Ahinsha, non-violence. Satya, speaking truth. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, celibacy. Aparigraha, non-hoarding of the things that are not required by you. He says these are the 5 yamas. And everybody must observe them. In fact, what happens? The first, I'll take for example the first yama, that is ahimsa, non-violence. Ahimsa, when you interact with other persons in the society, you are not going to do any violence against them, not only in action, through speech, through your mind, in your thinking, and through your action. If you start thinking in your mind that I am going to eliminate this fellow, this whatever you think in your mind, if you have some violent thinking in your mind, that is also ahimsa. Although it has not been translated into action, but it is ahimsa. And if you speak something rude through your mouth, or abuse others, say some unconstitutional thing to somebody else, that is also hinsa. And if you take some violent action against your fellow being without any problem, or without any harm being done by them to you, that is also hinsa. So what happens? Similarly, satya. Satya means speaking truth. If you are telling lies, if you have some lies in your mind, in your speech, and in your actions also, that is also bad. So all these actions, brahmacharya, celibacy, if you are trying to outrage the modesty of some women, or you want to have look with a ulterior motive, you are looking at somebody else with ulterior motives, that is also not brahmacharya. Similarly, asteya, non-stealing. If you want to grab others' property by hook or crook, that is asteya. And aparigraha means if you are hoarding things for want of which the others are suffering, that is also not that is also parigraha, that is bad. So whatever happens, these 5 things, when you do and they are going to harm others, they are known as papa karmas. Mind it. Here the definition of a papa and a punya is given. And if through your actions, if your actions are going to give comfort others, or non-violent, or giving no harm to others, then your actions will be known as a punya karmas. If they are detrimental to others' existence or others' comfortable life and other things, then they will be known as papa karmas. And if they are not going to have any adverse impact upon the life of others, they are known as punya karmas, good karmas. So, through your papa karmas, you are making, in the present life you may enjoy, no problem, but you are making your future life as the hell. There are some persons, some thinkers in this world, and they say that who knows about the next life? We want to enjoy this present life. That is why they are doing mistakes after mistakes. They are doing violence after violence, because they are oblivious of the whole system of the nature. Had the people are made known about this truth of the system of the nature, they would be agreeing to reverse, to change the course of their thinking or their life pattern. So, the right, proper knowledge is must for proper ways out, proper way outs. So, these papa karmas, they are going to adversely affect your age, your name, fame, your health, your knowledge, everything in the next life. And these papa karmas, they are going to push you to the lower species also. Because the papa karmas will be accumulating as a tamasic sanskaras, rajasic sanskaras, and those rajasic or tamasic sanskaras are pushing you to the lower species. And if you are being born through your some rajasic sanskaras or sattvic rajasic sanskaras, if you are born again as a human being, then they are going to adversely affect your age, lifespan, your health, mental or physical, your prosperity, your name, fame, and your knowledge. So the people are born as mental lunatic. The people who live under depression, stress, and all these things. What is this for? Why they are facing it? Because of the papa karmas of their past life. Not only this, Charaka Samhita, a great physician, ancient Indian physician Charaka, he says that the disease in the present life, some of the diseases, not all, there are three types of diseases. He say the three causes, there are three causes of the disease. Diseases are caused by three ways, according to him. First one, whatever we take wrong foods and our habits, life habits, our wrong lifestyles, we are suffering from disease due to that. And he says there is one category of diseases that is known as a karmaja vyadhi, means, and he describes the karmas vyadhis as janmantara kritam papam vyadhi rupena badhate. The papa karmas done in the past life, they are going to make us suffer in the present life in the form of disease. Human beings, they are getting diseases sometime due to the papa karmas of their past life, and such diseases are not going to be cured.